If House of the Dragon does cover more than just the Dance of Dragons, something I hope we see is the Faith Uprising and the rise of Maegor. This theory I want to discuss in this video is the idea that King Aenys, the eldest son of Aegon the Conqueror by Rhaenys Targaryen, was poisoned by his aunt, Queen Visenya, so her own son, Maegor, could usurp the throne from Aenys' children. I do actually believe this theory, and I think it's one of the more likely ones to be proven true, and would prove to be a shocking twist in House of the Dragon. Aenys was the first son and heir of Aegon the Conqueror and his younger sister, Rhaenys Targaryen. He was more like his mother than his father, softly spoken and a gifted singer. He had been a weak baby, only starting to grow when he was given the dragon hatchling Quicksilver. He was a kind and caring man who wanted to be loved by everyone. As a result, many feared he would make a weak king, more so when you compare him to his younger brother, Maegor, Aegon's son by Visenya. Maegor was the exact opposite of his older brother, taking after his father, strong-willed and a fierce warrior. On their father's deathbed, Aenys told his brother that they would rule the realm together, giving him their father's Valyrian steel sword Blackfire, the Sword of Kings. And this is where problems began. When Aenys gave Maegor Blackfire, the now Dowager Queen Visenya made it known that by doing this, King Aenys was publicly admitting that he did not have the strength to rule, and he would not make a fit king. Aenys himself only reinforced this view by being indecisive and confused when several rebellions sprung up immediately after his coronation, where these sorts of views bubbled under the surface for many years, as the realm was peaceful, while Maegor served as his brother's hand. But things quickly went sour. Maegor took a second wife, and this angered the faith, resulting in Aenys having to exile his brother. But then, when Aenys married Princess Rhaena to her younger brother Prince Aegon, it was the king who angered the faith, causing a religious uprising across Westeros. Aenys, at the wedding feast, named Prince Aegon Prince of Dragonstone, the title that belonged to Maegor. The Dowager Queen Visenya was so angry she left the feast. Visenya tried to cancel her nephew to bring fire and blood to the faith, but he fiercely refused, but yet could not make a decision on what to do. He then fell mysteriously ill while at Dragonstone. Aenys being ill was not surprising, as he was a weak and sickly baby, and often ill throughout his life, but the timing was very convenient. The Grand Maester fretted over the king's health and repeated illnesses, and this all took its toll on Aenys' body. At the age of 35, he looked like a man in his 60s. As his illness got worse, Visenya ordered she take control of the king's care personally, and for a while it did seem the king was improving, but after the news that Crackle, where Rhaena and Aegon were staying, was being besieged by the faith, he collapsed and died soon after. Right away, Visenya mounted her dragon, Vhagar, to bring her son Maegor back from exile. Rather than back Aenys' son Aegon as heir, she worked to put her own son on the throne, making her actions seem even more suspect. But is there really much evidence in the text to support this? Would Visenya really kill her own nephew? It's very clear that, like many others in the Seven Kingdoms, she felt Aenys was weak and indecisive, not fit to be a king. The two never seemed close, and when it came to Maegor's second marriage and the naming of Aegon as Prince of Dragonstone, she publicly undermined Aenys' authority. It should also be noted that Visenya, being one of the three heads of the dragon, commanded much respect and authority to many of the lords across the realm. So, with his lack of closeness and her view of Aenys, it does seem odd that she would elect to be in charge of his care. She was not a healer, so surely the Maesters or a closer member of family would have been a better fit. However, if the theory I discussed in my last House of the Dragon theory video, that Aenys was actually not Aegon's son, but a bastard, does prove to be true, this could actually help explain a lot of Visenya's actions, and why she would do what she did. It also seems suspect that as soon as the king was dead, she did not stay at Dragonstone to comfort his young children, Jaehares and Alsyanna, or his wife, Alyssa. Instead, she flew off to find her own son, Maegor, bringing him back to proclaim him king, a man many felt was better suited to be a king than his brother. Visenya knew the line of succession. That was clear, that by right the throne belonged to Aenys' eldest son, Prince Aegon, yet she still moved to make Maegor king. You can also look further back, before the birth of the son to Aenys, where Visenya tried very hard to betroth Maegor, Aenys' daughter and then heir, Rhaena, in order to give her son a stronger position in the line of succession. Her plan was not successful, but it showed her intent and political manoeuvring. So, did Queen Visenya poison or have any involvement in the death of King Aenys? Well, she definitely had a motive, even more so if the theory of Aenys being a bastard was true, which personally I don't think it is. And her actions after Aenys' death does make her look suspect. But the idea Aenys, an already weak and frail man, often ill, just died because of stress he faced as king, also does make sense. However, Visenya knowing this, and Aenys' illness and frailty being well known throughout the realm, it would make a perfect cover if Visenya did poison him. Look at a lot of these mysteries and theories that have come from Fire and Blood. It's unlikely we never know the truth, but speculation is part of the fun, and George R. R. Martin's work would not be the same without it. This theory would work well in a show like House of the Dragon. It would prove to be a shocking and big twist. I see two ways this could be done in the show. It could be clearly done, showing the slow process of Visenya poisoning Aenys, or perhaps allude to the idea that he is being poisoned. An idea I like more is if it's handled in a similar fashion to the Purple Wedding. What I mean by that is it takes a while before we actually find out who is responsible for actually killing Joffrey. I could see it being made clear that Aenys was poisoned, but not clear who at first. The viewer would be left wondering, was it Maegor? Was it Visenya? Was it the Faith? I think the idea would be to involve Maegor more in the planning of the assassination and make it more of a large-scale conspiracy. It all depends how they choose to portray Maegor and how close he would be to his half-brother in the show. Again, that's assuming any of this is actually true. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this theory and how you think it could be implemented in House of the Dragon. And as always, I want to know your Fire and Blood theories and what ones you'd want to see in House of the Dragon.